Please do not post your referral code in the comment section below. Otherwise, gremlins will sneak into your house at night over the holidays and will sew your pants tighter. Yeah, that's the whole point. That's what they call calories. Those little gremlins sneak into your house at night and sew your pants tighter. Well, anyways, guys, now that I gotten that joke out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about the new Holy Wars coming up, okay, and how you can prepare for that. So, one of the things that people have been asking me is, like, you know, should I buy this card? Should I not buy this card? Should I sell this card off? And so we're going to talk about a couple cards and compare and contrast a couple. And, you know, you ultimately are going to be the one to decide, will this be good in my deck? Is it worth the price? And will I keep it in my deck? And guys, I think that more than anything is the most important choice about buying a card. Are you going to keep it in your deck for a long period of time, okay? And so, that being said, I've bought some cards in the past, back when Master Gunner was going for 30 HP per. You can buy a proper 4/6 Evo for one of those for the same price that one of them used to go for. So, that being said, I'm going to keep that for forever, so losing out that much HP doesn't bother me that much. Alright? So, one of the cards that has recently been released, and I actually think is a really good card, because it has a decent effect, big hit post defense all, which is 8%, and it's an S rare, meaning that you can get its skill level up at a decent rate. And remember, guys, for every skill level that it gains 1% to its effect chance going off into the damage that it does. So possibly this could be an 18% hit, okay? And of course, depending on what slot you put it in, depends on what the chances are. I know that the first slot is a guaranteed 100%. Second slot, I think, is 60-70%, and I'm sorry if I got that wrong. And third slot, I think, is 50% or less. So for that second and that third slot, that 10% chance of going off is actually better than the amount of damage that it does. Okay? So going back to Crystal Lily, her effect's okay, but really where she shines is the amount of damage that she can do. As you see, a 4/7 proper Evo is 17,854, and at 8/15 is 18,476. And from what I've seen, and keep in mind that it's 12, 10, 12 right now, that these cards are only going for 10 to 14 HP if they're maxed or not, so average being 12 HP. So a pretty decent price for a 4/6 if you need to pick one up. Even though the skill isn't that great, for the 4th and 5th slot, if you're running like some Valkyries or some Range or something else like that, excuse me guys, that was my phone, then that card can actually make a really good 4th and 5th slot card, since you don't really have to worry about its skill that much, and it has a big hitting, attack level. Alright? And I apologize for the choppiness of this video. There are some certain things I'm talking about that are just going to appear randomly in it, because I'm just freestyling right now. So, one of the new cards that's come out in preparation for Holy Wars is the Luminous Knight, and of course there's the God version of it, and then there is the Demon version of that. I'll talk more about its effect and more about if you should buy it or not. So, Holy Wars 8 Rebirth is what it's called, and as far as what's going on, what's different, it's pretty much exactly the same from what I've read, and I recommend that you get on wiki.rageofbahamut.com and check this out yourself, is that they made it so that the vice presidents now get a 3% boost, which is good, and that those vice presidents can actually build walls in absence of the order leader, which is really, really good, because we ran into that problem last time. It also says, like, the typical stuff, can't join a lead, blah, 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 and that level 20s are now going to be assigned to orders, which is decent, okay? At least that way they get to, participate in, and I think that's good for the new players. So I like to see Rage of Bahamut staff taking, steps in this direction to introduce new players and to make them feel more welcome. But let's talk about what I don't like to see, okay? So Luminous Knight is a big boost to Holy War points upon victory, which I think is around 8%, and I'm sorry if I got that wrong. I think that at its S rare level, it gives, and I'm sorry if I'm quoting this wrong, guys, but I heard that it gives 25% more points. Okay, so if you're going to get 100 Holy War points, you get 125 upon winning that battle. Okay? And with Ragnarok being active, which it's always been active from what I've seen, if you win the war, okay, not just the battle, but the war, then it boosts your Holy War points, that total, by, I think, 20 or 50%. And I'm sorry if I got that wrong, because I'm trying to go off of memory. So, do a little bit of research and find out for sure. So, is this card worth having in your deck? Ultimately, I'm going to say no. Alright? Because of those first main 3 slots, okay, I think something like a Claymore Maid serves a much better purpose. Okay? Basically, you're taking away the first slot to give that spot, okay, for only a 25% more boost. But if you lose the battle, then you only get like 46 points compared to like the 300 you normally would, if it's a fair battle, okay? So already, you're sacrificing a huge potential for only 25% more. So rather than getting 300 points, you only get 46 compared to the 375 that you get. So ultimately, if you use 1 HP and if you can attack 4 times 75, it's not a huge difference compared to losing that first battle. You basically only even out. Plus, these cards are ridiculously expensive right now. So let's compare stats so that you can make your final decision. Sector, and I'm sorry if I'm enunciating that name wrong, or aka Magic Mike, has been around for forever. This used to be a pretty expensive card. Everybody's getting rid of these because it basically has the same effect. Big boost to Holy War points upon victory. Great boost. So I think it's a 13% boost compared to the 8 or 10% boost. And get on Rage of Wiki Rage of Bahamut, and it says for sure, okay? So let's look at the stats. Obviously, Luminous Knight now has a better skill effect by, I think, 5%, okay? Maybe 3%. A 4-7 one of these is 16,512, 815, 17,000. And guys, these are dirt cheap right now. If you were going to buy one, go ahead and go for the 815, okay? I think that you could buy maybe 2 of these 815s for the price of 147 Luminous Knight. The Luminous Knight, however, has a much greater attack at 18,500, basically, or an 815 is 19,138, okay? So, what do I say? If you are hell-bent on getting one of these, spend the money, get the 815, because you're going to need every single attack point that you can possibly get. And I've seen 4-7 of these, and guys, remember, the prices are constantly changing, going for about, at the bare minimum, 125 HP, which I think is super expensive, okay? So, figure that out. That's about 30 per, and then 5 for maxing, alright? Compared to the Sector, which you can get an 815 for, like, nothing. I've seen 4-7s going for 25 HP, if not less now, okay? And, again, is the 25% boost worth it? No, because with that extra 125 HP, times 300, times 4, so 1,200 basically per attack, times 125, you can see why it just does not make sense, okay? I want to talk about that one last. So, what do I think that your money's better spent on? Claymore Maid is my choice of this week, okay? And honestly, probably month, because it's been a while since I've been making videos. The reason is that this card is actually pretty cheap right now compared to its old price. It used to go for 55 to 60 HP, which is just a ridiculous amount of HP for this card. And, there is an S-Rare base card and then the SS-Rare card, and you got Michaels and Tristans and Gowans and everything else to consider. So why do I say Claymore Maid over those SRs and SSR cards? It's because the skill effect is so much easier to get up, okay? And that being said, if you have 3 of these in your deck, and then your wing cards, so the 4th and 5th slot, which I'll use that term interchangeably, then I've seen 3 of these go off, and you can hit well up to 170, 175,000 points of damage if each of those 3 cards has a skill level of 10. And admittedly, guys, that takes a lot of rare cards and a lot of high rare treasure cards and high rare cards to get up. Alright? So, is it worth it? Ultimately, that's your decision to decide on. Like I said, I've been seeing these cards go for about 30 to 32 HP maxed out. I've been seeing cards, Claymore Maids, that are already maxed out with skill level 3 to 5 go for about 140, 120 at the very cheapest HP, alright, for a proper 4-6 Evo. And I've seen a couple skill level 10s go for around 180 to 210 HP, okay? Now, for me, I'm really unlucky when it comes to leveling up skills, alright? And considering that, and guys, remember, viewing these videos, this video came out 12, 10, 12, okay? The price of rares, skilled high normal is constantly changing, okay? But from what I've seen, for every skill level past level 6, you add about 10 to 20 HP, okay? So, is 210 for skill level 10 Claymore Maid worth it? If you have the HP, I think that is a fair price. Not a great price, but definitely a fair price, okay? So, as you can see, big boost to man attack, 13%. Skill level 10, that then boosted up to 23%. Getting it up to skill level 6 is about the point where you just say, screw it, I'm not going to do it anymore, I've wasted too much money. So that's a 19%. And then, if you scroll down, you can see 4-7, 17,420, 8-15, 18,000 points, okay? So, really, for twice the amount of cards, for only 600 points more, is it worth it? No, I'd rather have 2 of these in my deck at 4-6s. Plus, the resell is so much easier than the 8-15, okay? But, remember guys, there is God versions of this card, there are Demon versions of this card. God and Demons seem to be way more expensive for some reason. So, that being said, you know, for whatever different version there is of this, you know, just keep that in mind. Another one that they've said is Master Archer. Master Archer is a boost to all your cards, which is pretty cheap, especially considering the Claymore Maid is still going for about that 30 HP per. Should you buy the Master Archer? No. Master Archer is a big boost to all, so it has, I think, only around an 8% boost compared to the Claymore Maid, which is 5% higher. So, especially if you're Man Realm, only go for the Claymore Maid, guys. Paladin, basically the same scenario, is, you know, get that skill level up, okay? And let's talk about order, you know, positions. Our order this time is decided to only employ 3 attack leaders, okay? Which sounds like very, very few. And there's only 1 defense leader, which is me. Alright, and I've already talked about my defense deck in the past, which I'm running 1 Lancelot, 3 Paladins, and 1 Captain, which as soon as I get enough HP, I'm going to replace that Captain with a 4-6 Lance, alright? So, you know, for whatever version there is of this for Gods, which I think Aspara, or Demons, which I think Bloody Mistress, just replace that name with Paladin, alright? And as you can see, it has a decent defense, but really what makes this card isn't the defense, but what makes it is its skill, okay? So I've had people ask me this question actually quite frequently recently, is I have multiple defense decks. One is just for defending against demon decks. One is just for defending against god decks. One's just for defending against man decks. Does the computer know that it will automatically assign, or will it automatically assign, against the deck that's attacking me? The answer, unfortunately, is no. I wish it was yes. I wish Rage of Bahamut staffs could somehow change that, because it would make a lot of defense cards worth a crap ton more. But unfortunately, it does not. So cards like Captain, which hits against man's attack, if I had 5 Captains in the deck versus 5 Witch Commanders, which hits against something else, or, you know, I'm sorry guys, whatever would hit against demons or whatever would hit against gods, will it switch those decks out interchangeably? No. Whatever you have assigned as your primary defense deck is what will be used against all attackers. So, that being said, that's why I like to run decks that are big boost to man defense all, or great boost to man defense all, just focusing on your deck in particularly, because you don't know what's going to attack you, which kind of sucks. But, that being said, you can actually see why cards like Paladin and ones that focus primarily just on that type of defense on your cards rather than your opponent's cards are worth so much more. And guys, I apologize, this video is going a little bit long, but I'm almost done, so stick with me here, okay? This is what I'm hoping comes out this Holy War. It's been a really long time since this card was released in Japan. I said we're typically 6 months behind. We're there, guys. If they don't release this card this Holy War, then they sure as hell better release it next Holy War. Because the time is now. And godforsaken Devil Queen is still ridiculously expensive. And it's just a joke how much money you have to spend on rares and high rares to get your skill level up. So, that being said, Mini Devil Queen, its effect is mat stats are not defined, give a 20% boost in skill leveling when used as an enhancer card. You got 5 of these guaranteed to level up, okay? So, you know, yeah, you gotta get 5 of these, which kind of sucks, but these cards are this card is supposed to come out of silver coin packs. We all know how much silver coin packs sucks the big one. So, finally, they're gonna give us a decent award from silver coin packs, hopefully. Hopefully this time, guys. That being said, what do I think is going to happen during Holy Wars? Guys, my defense deck is pretty damn good, but it could still use a lot more work. That being said, I've been getting attacked regularly at least 3-4 times an hour by miscellaneous people. The only people that have been beating me are people that are in the top 5,000 personal rank or higher, okay? So I have a pretty good defense deck. That being said, I have some of our attack leaders, people that have spent an ungodly amount of money and are ungodly lucky attacking other people, and they're running into Arthurs, proper 4/6 Arthurs, and then 4 Lancelots as defense leaders. What to look out for if you think that you're going to run into a defense deck like that? They're going to have at least 200 defense points. And the reason that is it typically takes around 100, 120, 130 points to run decks like that. And then they want to be able to get at least attacked 10 to 12 times, if not more, before they start losing out on that 5th card slot, okay? So, if they have a really high defense like that, chances are they're not bluffing, okay? So that's something to look for. Ways to get around it, go to your battle screen, find a bunch of farmer accounts. These are guys that only have like 10 defense, okay? And choose one card that has like 20 attack points, okay? Attack that person 3 times. Attack another one 3 times. Attack another one 3 times. So you spent around 100 attack points there. Hopefully that will boost your attack up by 30%. Which that lasts, I think, 5 minutes to 10 minutes. Have the rest of your order members just spam the shit out of that defense leader. Hopefully dropping them down to only top 3 cards. Then you or your attack leader attacks that person. And hopefully that will get you around that uber defense deck. We've done that in the past. It costs a lot of HP. It takes a lot of coordination. But it is one of those ways to get around those defense decks. What else? If you're an attack leader, or if you're planning on becoming an attack leader, or if you're an order leader trying to figure out who you should assign to be attack leader, don't just give that position out freely unless that person also has a really good defense deck to back it up. The reason is that attacking the attack leader, I think, gives 10 to 20% more Holy War points. So if you're racking up a bunch of points, and if you lose a battle, then you lose some of your Holy War points, and they get more. So the net yield is around 20-30%, maybe 40%, if you can figure that out. Negative sum, plus sum, you can see how the line gets bigger. Alright guys, well, that pretty much sums up this video. I know it's a lot of information. I know this video went on a little bit longer, but if it's helped you out, or if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please post it in the comment section below. And remember guys, if you have an extra device laying around, or if you're a new player planning on joining, please use my referral code RUM26800. That gets you a free rare card and does the same for me. This is Jaybo785 signing off.